Win Paris, PhD, fitness doctor of philosophy, the father of fitness medicine, founder of the Jack Lane Fitness Centers. This is a full-page ad in the New York Times today. And the most important statement is, we support the U.S. vision to end the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Well, nobody has the vision. And without vision, people perish. Gestalt psychology is seeing the big picture. And the big picture is a lot more, much more, than his 67 lines that President Obama was. Much, much more. Remember, there was a war in 1948 for independence, establishing the lines. There was a 56 Sino War that established boundaries. There was a 67 Six-Day War that also established boundaries, and then there was the 1973 Yom Kippur War. 3 times the Arab armies from all the surrounding countries attacked Israel. That's what established the 67 boundary. So the vision of recommending the 67 boundary is ridiculous. In some places, Israel in this area is only about 9 miles wide. And the UN is going to vote on this. Well, I hear there's millions and millions and millions of Muslims in Holland, in France, and Germany. I read a book about it, how they're just swarming and multiplying because they don't use birth controls. So to give a 67 boundary would be suicide. And it's already proven that they've had the War of Independence and 3 other wars. So to make a boundary and call it vision is ridiculous. Why doesn't Germany give a part of the land that they're overflowing with the Arabs to the Arabs? Why doesn't France do it? They had a big riot in France, and they want the people to wear, the burqas. So it's easy. It's very easy to give somebody else's land away. And this way is security. 9 miles, and they're proven the Hezbollah, the people in southern Lebanon attacked Israel a little more than a year ago. So they have a history of attacking. The Hamas is shooting rockets, thousands of rockets in Israel. And here's the big one. This is the gestalt, the big picture. Iran not only is getting atomic weapons, but they're funneling money to Lebanon, to the Hezbollah. And Iran is not going to sign any agreement. So this suggestion here is just ludicrous. If the Arabs put down their weapons today, there would be no more violence. If the Israelis put down their weapons today, there would be no more Israel. I'm going to repeat that. If the Arabs put down their weapons today, there would be no more violence. If the Israelis put down their weapons today, there would be no more Israel. That's something to think about. And by the way, my credibility, look me up on YouTube, Dr. Wynn, PhD. You'll see part of the story of my life. Dr. Wynn, PhD, and Dr. Wynn, Visionary. You'll see my background, my education. This is just a small part. Phi Epsilon Kappa from UCLA. Phi Delta Kappa from UCLA. Oh, here's something I'm very proud of. That's the picture of President Reagan and George Allen. George Allen was chairman of the Physical Fitness Committee for the United States. And he wrote, "To win Paris, a great American, your friend George Allen." Why did he say that? Because of Gestalt. I went to Russia, when it was still communistic. I went through the whole country. I was supposed to go to Siberia, but it got too bleak there. And he wrote that because after visiting Russia, I said, well, communism is more like capitalism because just a few percent of the Russians have the money, and capitalism is more like communism because, so it's just the opposite, it's just words. But that was a great experience in Russia. And on the train going to Siberia, it smelled like alcohol. And this is my physical background. That's me in 1952, winning a bodybuilding contest. And the other picture is at the age of 16. And I have another picture with my mother at the age of 10. But I don't want to lose the gestalt. Four wars, counting the Hezbollah, they're not going to live by any agreements. Once Israel is in a weak position, they'll just run through Israel and overflow the country. This is the fitness medicine concept. I can legally claim to be the father of fitness medicine. Fitness medicine is the answer to the healthcare crisis. Not spending trillions of dollars like Obama did. You can prevent 80% of all illness according to the people I've asked for about the past 30 years. So once again, the fitness medicine is a gestalt concept. And that's how I see this Israeli-Arab conflict clear as crystal. 4 wars. The Israelis did not start any of the wars. And they beat the Arabs. And that's how they established 67. So why should it give back? Once again, should we give part of Mexico back to Mexico? That was a war. Should we also give them New Mexico and Arizona? It's easy to give other people's land away. So get in touch with your senator or congressman and help these concepts. Once again, the UN is going to vote on this, and if they have a war also, this is the busy spot we're at, because but somebody ought to say, let's give Mexico back to the Mexico and see what people say, or Arizona, or New Mexico, or in Germany and France and Italy that is over-flooded with Muslims. Millions and millions. They had a riot in Paris. I read a book about this, and the Arabs multiply much faster because I guess they don't use birth control methods. I don't know for sure. So they'll have that boundary 9 miles. They'll have millions and millions of people 5 and 10 and 15 years from now. So that's it. In summary, this article says, we support the U.S. vision to end the Israeli-Palestinian conflict and the 1967 border. Well, you know who made that, you know who supports it. The Arabs support it. So, life is survival of the fittest and the wittest. And Israel has got to be fit and wit, and Obama has got to do a lot of homework, maybe 20 or 30 years of experience. But the key is really to win with God. This is the book I wrote, Win with God Poetry, and this is Poems of Love. And it all boils down that man proposes and God disposes. Support the truth. Support Israel 100%. Because they only have 5 or 6 million people. And there's like, I forget, it used to be 100 million Arabs. So get in touch with your representative and win with God. Thank you.